Ready, set, go.
Hello, welcome to another album reaction. It's been a little bit, as it tends to be nowadays, but I'm glad to be back. I was sitting down trying to figure out what I was going to be listening to today, and so I checked Apple Music, and turns out an artist that I'm a very big fan of and made a bit of a splash on the internet a little bit back, released their debut album. Today, we're listening to Committed to a Bit by COROOK. You may know COROOK by their song If I Were a Fish. Very, very adorable song that touched the hearts of many. I should mention there's a bit of text on the album art. It says COROOK presents their debut album Committed to a Bit Filled presents their debut album Committed to a Bit filled with songs of whimsical honesty and sad bops. Maybe you're reading this on your phone or your computer, or maybe it's physically in your hand as a vinyl. Regardless, I want to thank you genuinely for taking enough interest to read the stupid fine print that has absolutely no meaning. So immediately we're getting a flavor for what COROOK is all about. They're a little cheeky, they're a little silly, but they got things to say, and they hope that someone listens to them at some point, perhaps. And then there's some lovely photos of COROOK being out on the town, kissing people, giving people hugs. It's wonderful, and I'm very, very excited to listen to what is technically their first album. They haven't, like, the EPs don't have like the little EP note on them, but they're like 5 or 6 song like records. So it makes sense that this is being considered their debut album. We got 13 tracks, rounding out at about 42 minutes. So some of these songs are pretty short. Some of them are actually, not a single song breaks 4 minutes. So we're not going to be here too long. But we are going to take a minute, hang out with COROOK for a bit, see what they've got to say, and enjoy ourselves in the process. We're going to start right the frick off with the titular track, number 1, Committed to a Bit. I very much connect with the title of this as someone that also enjoys committing to a good bit. I want to see what kind of bit we're committing to right away. Ooh. That's a cool little melody there. It's a little Animal Crossing-ish. Oh, we're slowing it down. Okay, all right. Ooh. All right, piano. Okay, we're laughing.
Good job, bravo, sold out.
Thank you.
The show.
Did I?
How do you do it?
I have no idea.
I'll say it all comes natural.
Oh, do you? Is that? Oh, you're being asked how do you do it? Okay.
A long time ago, I
Mm-hmm.
made someone up.
Sure, as we all do.
Myself it in.
Interesting. Wait a minute.
Squeezed into their clothes, handed them my name, and that's how I made friends.
Right,
Now
interesting.
the crowd is on their feet, it's wild, so I just double down and make them laugh till they're all crying
Okay, interesting.
Committed to a bit that I don't even get anymore.
Whoa. Okay, and we're gonna stop there because there's some stuff to unpack there. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. I mean, it's like a minute and 45 seconds long, so let's just go straight through all the lyrics here. Good job, bravo, sold out the show. How do you do it? I'll say it all comes natural. So, starting off, COROOK is admitting that they've come into some fame, some artistic and creative success, which is great. We love to see it. And people are asking, how did you manage to find yourself here? And COROOK says, it just comes natural. But then within their heart of hearts, within their truth of truths, they know that a long, long time ago, I made someone up to help myself fit in. I squeezed into their clothes, handed them my name, and that's how I made friends. So COROOK has found their way through the world and through their career by creating a separate persona. And this is not the first we've heard of an artistic persona being different from the person that they actually are. Porter Robinson's newest album got into all that very, very heavily. And that's how I made friends. Now the crowd is on their feet. It's wild. So I just double down and make them laugh till they're all crying on the floor. I'm committed to a bit that I don't even get anymore. So COROOK has come to this place where, like, they don't connect with the person that they're portraying on stage or in the media or in whatever media they're in, but they feel this like obligation to keep prolonging this bit because it's what people are coming to their shows for. And I get that. There's gonna be that like resistance to staying true to yourself and risking that truth being less, relatable or relevant than it might actually be, right? Or less relatable than they hope. It's an interesting intro into the rest of this album. I'm not gonna, get into any advice because we've established the problem at the top of the album, and now let's get into some of the avenues in which COROOK has been exploring this. Moving into track number 2, titled Blankets. I don't use a whole lot of blankets when it comes to bedding. I'm a duvet and a fitted sheet kind of guy. I know that's pretty bare bones, but it's what I'm comfortable in, I don't even use blankets that much when I'm on the couch, but if someone else brings a blanket and offers, I'll take a blanket if it's offered. Ooh. Okay, cute. This is the kind of, yeah. Oh, that's okay.
Therapy looks good on you, you're staying out of all the drama.
Am I? That's good.
If we keep hanging out like this, I think it's gonna be a problem.
Nice. Oh, I love those. The low keys sound like those musical tubes. I can't remember what they're called. They're like something whackers that you would use in school and music class. And each tube was long enough that when you hit it on the ground, it would make a specific note. That's what this is reminding me of. I love it. It sounds great. It's a good feel.
Having dreams of you and me under the blanket. Kissing and hugging.
Ooh, hello, synths.
I hope you know there's no expectations. So big, let's take it slow.
Taking it slow. Maybe not. That sounds delicious. Oh no. Oh, this is cute. Oof. Nice 80s ballad vibes here.
Things are heating up a bit and we're not even in the kitchen.
Oh.
Scary movie night and you switch
Getting a
over
little,
like we're almost
throwing a
kissing.
little funk in there.
You should know that I respect you and I care about our friendship.
Nice. This song exactly captures the energy that kind of drew me to COROOK. This like kind of awkward, but like trying to be sexy, but being awkward in the process kind of deal of like getting all these like very like 80s ballad, low key synths and things. But as soon as you read the lyrics, you're like, oh no, I'm fucking it up a little bit. That's just part of the package you're getting. That's just who I am. But you're kind of slipping that into this like, hey, you want to hang out under a blanket with me? I'm going to make pancakes. I'm going to not make them right. Hey. It's like that kind of vibe where if you're just listening to the music itself, it's sort of presenting the persona that's hiding the actual truth of the person, which is perhaps what the first track was trying to get across.
Baby, I can't fall asleep. Baby.
No.
I've tried counting sheep, baby.
Is that a recorder?
I can't tell if
It sounds like a recorder.
it's all a dream.
Ooh.
Under the blanket.
Nice. Ooh. A vocoder? Alright. Okay. Woo. There was some noodling going on at the end there. All right, that was nice. That was cute and charming. Very good. Big fan. Yeah, it's a bedroom song, but they've slipped in a little bit of sort of honesty, a little bit of vulnerability in here. We kind of find it all in the chorus, which is I'm having dreams of you and me under the blanket. Kissing and hugging and gay shit. We love the gay shit in this house. If you don't love the gay shit, get out of this house. That's what in this house we enjoy it, and if you don't enjoy it, you shouldn't be in this house because you're not going to enjoy yourself and we're not going to enjoy having you here. I hope you know there's no expectations. So babe, let's take it slow. We don't have to get too romantic. A sleepover with blueberry pancakes, which saying we don't have to get too romantic and then saying a sleepover with blueberry pancakes, I don't know about you. That sounds really romantic. But it helps that the immediate next line is I inevitably mess up the pancakes because my hands shake when you're close, which is cute. So make my dreams come true, dreaming next to you. It's a sleepy love song. It's a cozy little sleepover love song. You know? It's not about like the steamy sexiness of it. It's the coziness and the romance of being all cuddled up in blankets together. It doesn't have to be sexual necessarily. It could be if that becomes the vibe at a certain point, but it doesn't have to be. And that's great. Big fan of that. Verses 1 and 2 kind of get into that as well. Verse 1, you're the kind of woman that I want to take to meet my mama. Therapy looks good on you. You're staying out of all the drama. If we keep hanging out like this, I think it's going to be a problem. So sounds like COROOK's found themselves having some good taste in women, which is great. We love to hear that. COROOK seems to be attracted to people that are going to therapy and staying out of drama. It's great. And the fact that they think it's going to be a problem, read that as it's not actually a problem. It just means that this person might be a bigger deal to COROOK than they may expect. Verse 2, things are heating up a bit, and we're not even in the kitchen. Scary movie night, and you scooch over like we're almost kissing. We're not kissing yet. Not yet. Maybe later, but not yet. We're almost there. We're almost making out, but we're not quite yet. You should know that I respect you, and I care about our friendship. Alright? Cannot make that any clearer. Even if there is no chance of sexual intimacy in this evening, you should know that I value our time together. And that I respect you and your consent and your autonomy as a woman. And I value our friendship. That's good. That's good shit. Sounds like COROOK's approaching things the right way. That's just kind of what the song is. It's like it's a little bit funny, but the humor of it is that like the fact that she's approaching it from a really healthy point is kind of anticlimactic, you know? Like there's very little conflict in this song, which is fine. It's fine. It does make for a little bit of irony because you're expecting things to be like, oh, but this might be a problem. And the only reason it's a problem is because maybe COROOK is, you know, afraid of a relationship becoming a bigger deal and then getting their heart broken, which is a reasonable fear. It's a reasonable fear, but I don't get too much of that out of here. Mostly what I want to get out of this is COROOK wants to get nice and cozy and snuggly, which is great. Let's keep moving. Track 3, Ballerina. What are we attending the ballet this evening? Are we watching some high performance art, perhaps? Are you? Oh. Are you? Nice. Lucky you. Gotcha. Alright, nice. Alright. We got that. That kind of deal. Nice. Oh! This is a totally different vibe. This is a totally different vibe from the last two songs. What the frick? This is some like freaking like 21 Pilots Oliver Tree kind of stuff. That's so cool. I'm really glad that COROOK feels that they have the freedom to switch lanes like that, because they sound totally different. That's great. It's good that they're using different parts of their range. Okay. Nice, okay. I'll give it a try. I could give it a try.
Lucky, 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 lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Nice. All right. I only had so much to say about that one. That was pretty straightforward. Got the idea right away. Wait a minute. Hang on. I need this album art. Oh, okay. So there's text on the single art for this one. COROOK presents another song by COROOK this time about how they want to be a ballerina. JK, you'll have to listen to the song to see what it's about. Written by COROOK and friends, based on true events in the life of COROOK, and maybe other people can relate as well. I don't know. Coming soon to a speaker near you. Some rights reserved. Copyright 1983. 1983. Okay. Now I gotta go back and check what was on Blankets. Did Blankets have different album arts? It sure did. Okay, we're gonna check this out as well. Retrospectively, COROOK presents a song by COROOK for anyone that listens to COROOK called Blankets, written by COROOK and friends and inspired by falling in love, because COROOK fell in love and stuff in association with more songs that are coming that COROOK made and stuff. All rights reserved, copyright, blah, 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 blah. Very good. I appreciate... I'm curious as to how many of these they made. Very curious, but I'm looking forward to seeing more of those. That's great. I love it when people do that. Now that we have listened to the song, it seems to be about how COROOK is maybe not entirely happy with the person that they are, and are aware of their flaws and would like to change because they don't want to have to subject anyone to be with the person that they currently are forever. Which, to a certain extent, is fair, is valid. For example, let's go straight to verse 1. Heart on my sleeve, I'll change my shirt. Turn on the news, empathy hurts. Knock on the door, can't let you in. Super glued shut, since I don't know when. We're talking about emotional honesty. If at any point COROOK seems to be putting their heart on their sleeve, they're shutting that shit right down. Can't be having it. Can't be having it. You turn on the news, suddenly you're feeling for other people. Nah, that shit hurts. See, we can't be feeling empathy because that sometimes makes you feel bad. Because then you're feeling for people, and if bad things are happening to other people, then you feel bad for what's happening to those other people. And we don't want to feel bad, so we're putting that on the kibosh. Knock on the door. Someone's trying to learn about us and how we're doing. No. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. Can't let you in. We're super gluing that door shut and leaving it like that for so many years, and there's not going to be any long-term consequences for that, of course. Moving into pre-chorus, and for my next trick, I'm going to need one volunteer to tolerate me the next 45 years. Oh dear, I don't see a hand up. Can somebody put their hand up? So they're realizing that if they don't, get some of their shit together, that's going to make it hard for someone to be attracted to them. Which, should you be motivated simply by the idea of not really liking yourself? Shouldn't that be enough motivation to change rather than the potential of a romantic partner, being interested in you? Perhaps. But whatever gets the work done, I think. If you get motivated to become a better person by wanting to be more attractive to other people, I don't think that's necessarily harmful. I think along the way, part of getting your shit together also involves becoming a bit more self-motivated in working on yourself. Like, you want to become a better person because it doesn't matter who you end up with over the course of time, you know for a fact that you're always stuck with yourself. See, it behooves you to become someone that you enjoy spending time with, because you are spending 100% of your time with yourself. Going into the chorus, lucky, lucky me, I'm a ballerina, dancing around the truth, dancing around my feelings. I can bust a move and might never feel it. Lucky, lucky me, lucky, lucky me. Just sort of reveling in the fact that we've gotten this far, managing to duck and weave through every possible moment of emotional accountability or vulnerability. We've gotten this far not having to deal with most of that shit, and you know, if we're going the easy road, we're gonna keep trying to do that. Last spot I'm gonna look at is verse 2. There's someone else I want to be. Tip of my tongue, just out of reach. They never hold back, stand up for what's right, check in on their friends. They don't want to die. There's just someone that you can imagine that is also you, but they're a little different because they're better, you know? But they're just out of reach. They say what they think needs to be said. They stand up for what they believe in. They're in community. You know, they're an active friend, and they have maybe a little bit better mental health. That's crazy. Now, the mental health thing, you know, maybe you have a more relative degree of power over, but things like checking in on your friends, you got 100% power over that. You can just do that. You can just do that. You don't have to feel great while you're doing it, but you can just do it. You can just call your friends, even if you're having a bad day. You can check in on your friends and hope they're doing okay. Standing up for what's right. That can take a lot of mental and emotional fortitude, but it's worth doing. And it takes practice, and it gets easier with practice. So the sooner you start doing that, the easier it'll be. That's all I've got to say. Just do those things more, and before you know it, they'll be a little bit less out of reach. So let's keep going. Track number 4, crumbs. Are we talking toast crumbs, bagel crumbs, garlic bread crumbs? I don't know, but this one's also got some single art, so we're gonna read this. COROOK is yet again presenting a new song by, you guessed it, COROOK. Produced in part by COROOK Studios in partnership with the special people in their life. Shout out to all the real ones. This goes out to you. Thanks for loving COROOK for who they are. By the way, this song isn't about food. Maybe that was obvious, but it's a metaphor just in case that wasn't clear. It wasn't immediately clear. Thank you, COROOK, for establishing that. I hope you're happy with your extremely long sleeves. That doesn't seem comfortable. So let's learn about these crumbs. Oh, acoustic guitar this time. All right. Okay. All right, a little electric guitar there as well. I like that.
At every game, like you were the coach.
Okay. It was a little bit more intimate.
Tell me what I did wrong on the way home.
Oh, is this a dad song?
I learned to take it in silence and never fight back, or you would fight back.
Oh, shit.
Grown man versus a child.
Oh.
I had to hold back.
Fuck. Oh, this is some heavy shit. Okay, if you couldn't already tell, sounds like this song may have to do with some certain content matter regarding, but not limited to, seems like parental abuse. So hopefully that first verse didn't bother you too much if you're particularly sensitive to that. But if you are particularly sensitive to that, it might be best for you to skip this one. But for those of us that are willing, that are gonna be okay, seems like a pretty important song. Okay, all right.
You taught me to love me like it was hard to
Oh
love
my
me.
God. Okay.
You were so focused on the flaws you saw, you didn't even see me.
Oh my God.
I just wanna love me
Yeah, you
the way
should.
you should have loved me.
Yeah, he should have.
I was feeding on the crumbs you dropped. No wonder I'm so hungry.
Oh, those are the crumbs. Oh, this one's gonna hit hard. Okay. All right. All right. Well, let's.
No wonder I'm so hungry.
Oh my God.
The chorus isn't so catchy. I'm sure you could tell that it could use help.
Oh.
I don't need your criticism. I do it myself.
Fuck, I feel that. God damn.
You taught me to
Okay.
love me like
Right.
it was hard to love me. No wonder I'm so hungry.
Oh.
No wonder I'm so hungry.
God damn. That one came out of nowhere. And they did the goofy single art and everything. The crumbs are a metaphor. Yeah, I fucking bet they are. I could see that. Now I'm sad. So that's good. I really did like this song. I think this might be my favorite one so far. So this seems to be a dad song. And goddamn, what a piece of work this dad seems to be. Let's get into it and talk about, some things here. Verse 1, you were at every game like you were the coach. Tell me what I did wrong on the way home. I learned to take it in silence and never fight back, or you would fight back. Grown man versus a child, I had to hold back. Which is a crazy way of putting it. The thing of I had to hold back has a certain meaning in a fight. Usually holding back in a fight means that you could take on this person, but you're pulling your punches. But in this case, it's the opposite situation of you don't stand a chance, so you just take it. And I totally get that that's kind of what they did. They took it in silence and never fought back. Or if they fought back, then the response to that fighting back would be way more severe than what they could ever be able to handle. Going into the chorus, you taught me to love me like it was hard to love me. That's a fucking heartbreaking line, man. You were so focused on the flaws you saw, you didn't even see me. I just want to love me the way you should have loved me. Which is a beautiful line. That's a great line. I'm really glad that that's in this song, because it shows that, COROOK managed to, come out of the experience that they seem to have had with their dad and have been able to, at least somewhat be like, you know what? No, I deserve better than that. I'm going to be the person that shows me the kind of kindness I was entitled to as a child. Last lines are, I was feeding on the crumbs you dropped. No wonder I'm so hungry. The crumbs being I'm assuming just the, bare traces of kindness and fatherly love that COROOK was able to scrounge up amidst all of the fucking criticism and meanness from what I'm picking up. And then verse 2, I could sing you this song and you could point out everything I did wrong. Bet you're doing it now. The chorus isn't catchy. I'm sure you could tell that it could use help. I don't need your criticism. I do it myself. That line really hits me because I feel there's a person in my life that has a similar role where they will often point out things that I'm doing wrong, or maybe I'll do a thing wrong and I immediately know that I've made a mistake and I'm not happy with myself, and then this other person will also bring attention to how much I fucked up. And it's this thing of like, I'm already like cussing myself out for doing it. I'm already probably more aware of my mistake than I need to be, probably more self-conscious about it than I need to be. I don't need anyone else bringing attention to it, right? Like, I criticize myself plenty. I don't really need a whole lot of other people doing it outside. If you're a dad and you're watching this, don't fucking be like this. Just be nice to your kid. Your job is not to point out your kids' like failings. Your job is to like help them do better by encouraging them to do the right thing. You don't need to tell them to point out how wrong they were, because they're a fucking kid. They're gonna do things wrong. That's just inevitable. You don't need to point it out more. We're already aware of it. Just help us out. You're an adult. You probably know how to do things right. So quit wasting our time by reaming us out about it and step up and help us out. All right? Jesus Christ. We're gonna move on. Otherwise, the more I dwell on this, the more angry I'm gonna get. Speaking of more angry, track 5 is called Messy. We've already gotten a little messy. Let's get a little bit more. Ooh, all right. Interesting percussion. What are... Ooh. Okay. What are those sounds that I'm hearing? I like that piano.
Our first kiss.
No.
We were both wasted.
Okay.
You had a boyfriend.
I did?
I should have waited.
Maybe.
Went out for pancakes.
Again with the pancakes. Again with the...
Agreed to forget it. Like we could ignore
Interesting.
the way we kissed, like we had done
Oh,
before. Like no
I think I know what this is.
existence ever done it before. And I still feel kind of bad about that guy at your dorm. But if I knew the end, I would do it again. It was messy.
Ooh.
And I loved it.
Nice.
But
Okay.
I'm older now, I'm above it. I thought it was cool then, but it wasn't. We screwed it up into something I don't wanna lose.
Interesting.
Messy but not hard to choose.
Right.
Now we're together, we're different people, and you're having feelings for other people. Try not to freak.
COROOK. I know we just covered a song about pointing out your your mistakes. But I just noticed that they rhymed people with people, and the English student in me was like, man, what? That doesn't count. You can't do that. Obviously, they're allowed to do that because they did it. So I'm just gonna sit my grumpy ass down and let them rhyme people with people.
I don't want you to resent me like I'm holding you back, but I think this but I can't be brand new and forever to you.
I like that muted kick drum that they've had this whole way through. Okay. A little bit of weird distortion at the end. Nice. Interesting. All right, we're getting into some complicated shit. Big fan. Let's talk about it. Verse 1, remember our first kiss? Do ye? We were both wasted. You had a boyfriend, I should have waited. Went out for pancakes first thing in the morning. What is it with COROOK and pancakes? I'm a fan of pancakes. It's interesting. Like, if I had a nickel for every time there's been a pancakes reference in an album, I'd have 2 nickels. Agreed to forget it. Like, we could ignore the way we kiss like we had done it before. Like, no one in existence ever done it before. I still feel kind of bad about that guy at your dorm. But if I knew the end, I would do it again. And going into the chorus, it was messy, and I loved it. But I'm older now. I'm above it. I thought it was cool then, but it wasn't. We screwed it up into something I don't want to lose. Messy, but not hard to choose. So we've got ourselves a complex romantic relationship. At first, I thought that this song might have been about, figuring out someone's sexuality and being like, having your first gay kiss be while you're wasted and with someone that has a boyfriend. Not the smoothest way to go about it, not the least problematic course to go. But you screwed it up into something you don't want to lose. That's kind of where I thought it was going. But now I think it might be more about the relationship itself. It might still be about that, but it might also be about the relationship itself. According to verse 2. Now we're together. We're different people, and you're having feelings for other people. Try not to freak out when there's some tension. You have a special need for attention. Used to love it, but it's scaring me now. And our love ain't going nowhere. It's just leveling out. I wonder if you felt like this when you let him down. Is it all in my head? You might do it again. That last line, I feel that a lot. That nagging feeling that the love that you feel for another person will at some point just kind of fizzle out, and you might not know what to do with that. Or also, the fear that the other person's love for you might just fizzle out, and they might not know what to do about that. And then you just move on eventually to another relationship, and then you've got the fear that it's just gonna happen again. And so how do you go about relationships with that nagging fear that things will always at some point feel really good and like it's meant to be, but you also know that you've had relationships like that before and they've gone the same way? Very, very much relate to that. Love ain't going nowhere. It's just leveling out. Yeah, like feelings do change, or at least the way you express your feelings for the other person changes over time. Because that's why they call it the honeymoon phase, is because it's the phase where you're still learning about each other. You're still finding new ways to be particularly attracted to them, and it's fun and it's exciting, and you're probably a little bit younger, so they're out in the world and doing shit. And then a few years down the line, maybe you're more comfortable with each other. You know each other super, super well, which is great because it probably means you have a bunch of running jokes, and you understand what makes the other person comfortable and uncomfortable, and you're able to maneuver that. But it also does mean that a lot of the things that were exciting and new and novel during the honeymoon phase might not be there anymore. And a big challenge, I think, in making a relationship work is accounting for that. And knowing that those things going away doesn't mean that your relationship is any stronger or weaker. It's just a reality of how relationships develop. Is that, it's more like the rate at which you're learning new things about them, I think, changes. And then once we go through that whole story, then we come back to this chorus and we get back to something I don't want to lose, messy but not hard to choose. Suddenly it feels like that is more referring to the relationship than like your attraction to this person in itself. And then the outro, I don't want you to resent me like I'm holding you back, but I think this is a problem from your mom and your dad. I can love you through the seasons. I can fill in the gaps, but I can't be brand new and forever to you. Yeah, that last line. You can't be brand new and forever. Like, things can't be 100% exciting and engaging every freaking day. One thing that I think is really important for a lot of couples is just getting used to having days where you're just kind of like hanging out. You're not doing anything in particular. You're not going out for a specific date idea. You're just sitting at home doing your own thing near each other. I think that's a good thing to practice. It doesn't mean that you can't go out for dates anymore. You absolutely should. And if you're able, and if you can, depending on what kind of dates you like, make sure that you're doing dates that you can afford. But it helps to kind of acclimate yourself to a different pace so that you're not trying to go 100% the whole time, because it's not sustainable. It's not forever. It's brand new, but it's not forever. And if you're going to have forever, then a lot of it's not going to be brand new. And I think that's the balance that COROOK is kind of trying to get at. Let's keep moving. The pepto bismol. Are we dealing with some indigestion? We got some tummy aches, some ouchie in the old pot belly today. Let's find out. Ooh, okay.
Sick in the brain, I'm pretty sure it all started in the womb.
Okay.
I was scared of my life and I was scared of my dad and I was scared of believing in my own truth. I think my thoughts were too big for my body and my body wasn't big enough to hold it all in. I guess it had to come out and it came out of my mouth and it was everything I ate since 10 a.m.
Whoa.
My mama said
Right. Jeez.
How to fix it, but she did her best to drink this Pepto Bismol.
Nice. The funny thing about having a song about Pepto Bismol is Pepto Bismol is a brand, right? The product, it's a specific product called Pepto Bismol, right? It's like naming a song Canada Dry instead of ginger ale, which I now realize is an example that reminds the audience that I am in fact Canadian, and perhaps my American audience might not immediately register that. Now that's obvious now. But yeah, this song is proudly brought to you by the folks at Pepto Bismol.
Was born in the middle. I'm the one who can slip right through the cracks. My dad wanted a son and I was practically one, and so I lived him the life he wished he had.
Whoa.
And my mother would clean a whole house, running around stressed out just to hold it all in. Oh, but family comes first. There's not a person on earth that's gonna love you half as much as this.
Whoa.
Drink so we don't have to talk.
I like that guitar. It's kind of country vibe. Oh. Tempo down. Oh, and we're sliding the tone down too.
What do we do with all the things that we don't talk about?
Tell me.
Swallow the truth, shut my mouth.
Oh.
Oh God, it's coming out.
Right.
Are you listening now?
I've been listening. I was listening the whole time.
Are you listening now?
Ooh, we're building. I can feel it. Or maybe we're not building. Maybe this is it. Whoa. Okay, another song packed with some emotion, some baggage. Poor kid COROOK's been through some things. All right, seems like COROOK might have had some childhood anxiety that presented itself in a bit of barfing. Hence the Pepto. Verse 1, I can't think of a day I wasn't sick in the brain. I'm pretty sure it all started in the womb. So immediately, that's actually really smart. We're making that connection of the mental health manifesting in the stomach. They said the womb, but we're drawing a line from the head to the stomach. I was scared of my life, and I was scared of my dad, as previously established. And I was scared of believing in my own truth. I think my thoughts were too big for my body, and my body wasn't big enough to hold it all in. They were just a little guy. I guess it had to come out, and it came out of my mouth, and it was everything I ate since 10 a.m. Pre-chorus, my mama said I was a worrywart. Didn't know what I was worried for. Yeah, that's because it's just anxiety. Because you find things to be worried about, or you're just worried about nothing in particular. Didn't know how to fix it, but she did her best. Said, drink this. It being Pepto Bismol, a band-aid for a broken arm. Drink it all until it's gone. Drink so you don't have to talk. Pepto Bismol is taking the place of some good old-fashioned therapy. Moving on to verse 2, a big sister and little, I was born in the middle. That is also exactly true about me. Also a middle kid with an older sister and a younger sister. I'm the one who can slip right through the cracks. Very true. I don't know if I've ever told this story on the channel before. One time, my parents took me to get a haircut, and while they were paying for the haircut, I went to the bathroom and didn't tell them. And when I came out of the bathroom, they had already left and gone home. They were already driving home. And my middle kid ass decided, I guess I'm walking home, and got about a street down until some old lady saw me and was like, this 8-year-old child probably shouldn't be walking the streets of Calgary all by his lonesome. Took me back to the barber and called my parents. But that's the kind of shit that sometimes happens to middle kids, because it's real easy. We got a big skill bonus on stealth checks, unintentionally most of the time. But back to COROOK. My dad wanted a son, and I was practically one, so I lived him the life he wished he had, sure. And my mother would clean the whole house, running around stressed out just to hold it all in. So it sounds like The mom was also dealing with a lot of anxiety. Oh, but family comes first. There's not a person on earth that's gonna love you half as much as this. Which they tell you that. And then you go out and you find and you discover this beautiful thing called found family. And it turns out that people can love you half as much as this. Sometimes more. Then the outro, what do we do with all the things that we don't talk about? Swallow the truth, shut my mouth, oh God, it's coming out. What do we do with the things that we don't talk about? Losing my lunch on the couch. Are you listening now? So this is the kind of thing of like, if you just swallow that shit down, everything that we've just talked about for the past couple of verses, if you just like keep that in, just press it deep down so that you don't think it's going to be a problem, it's going to be a problem. It's going to explode, either literally or figuratively. So it's best to just kind of address it, whether it's with like friends, ideally, you know, a licensed therapist, but those are expensive. So like at least make sure that you're addressing it one way or another, because there will be ugly consequences if you just kind of leave that shit alone, because it will not leave you alone. And with that, I'm gonna keep moving to track 7, titled Death. We're shaking off any pretense of cuteness. We're singing about death now. Ooh. All right, a little bit slower.
Spent the 4th of July in Palm Springs.
Very close to the mic.
Met a woman whose husband died suddenly. She looked us in the eyes, said cherish all our time, and I felt you grab my hand a little tighter. I hope you get hit by a car.
Okay, all right.
Home from work.
Interesting.
What? By a bear?
A bear?
Or a shark?
A shark?
Or a bird?
How do you get mauled by a bird? Can birds maul?
Peacefully next to me. Actually, I'll go first. Either way, it'll hurt. I didn't say all that to make you upset.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Maybe I should just be more direct.
It helps.
I wanna love you to death.
Nice. Alright, that's cute. Alright.
In our house, forever is a dirty word.
Okay.
The only box I want you in is in a hearse.
Interesting. Okay. COROOK's walking a fascinating line here. A lot of the time, like, the whole love you to death sentiment is not a new one in the world of love songs, but it can be wielded in a way that seems a little toxic, a little possessive. But I think they're trying to approach it in a way that expresses less possession and more like their own, like COROOK's own loyalty is, I think, what they're trying to get across. As to whether they pull it off, like, I'll sort of give my own judgment at the end. But it seems like that's kind of the balance that they're trying to strike here.
It's just a morbid way to say that I want you every day.
That's a great way of putting it. There you go. There you go.
Till it has to.
Right. Yeah.
Till your body starts to go, or I choke when you're not home. I think Palm Spring lady knows she was lucky.
Right.
I didn't say all that to make you upset. Maybe I should just be more direct. I wanna love you to death.
Okay. All right. I think they pulled it off. I think they pulled it off, especially with that bridge. The saying, it's just a morbid way to say that I want you every day and I don't want this thing to end till it has to. But basically saying, like, I don't want a relationship to end because we fell out of love or we ended up breaking up. I would rather it just be like, oh, we're not together anymore because the other one fucking died. They got mauled by a bird. So they're dead, but we know since they died too soon that they were in love with me when they died. And that's better than having them die after having fallen out of love. Right? I get that. I think I get that. Maybe I reworded it in a way that spun it all the way back to sounding possessive. Hope not. But I think I get it. I think I get it. And with that said, let's go through some of this little story here. Starting with verse 1. Spent the 4th of July in Palm Springs. Met a woman whose husband died suddenly. She was about 65, loved him more than half her life easily. Still surprised when she wakes up alone. Puts on her favorite album even though she knows she'll end up a puddle on the floor. She can't listen to Kenny Rogers anymore, which is a very sad story. That's very sad to hear that this poor woman can't listen to Kenny Rogers anymore, even though it's her favorite album, right? Because it reminds her too much of her husband. But at least that memory of her husband is powerful enough and effective enough and affectionate enough that it has that impact, right? I would rather listen to an album that my partner likes, and if they're gone, I would rather feel sad while listening to it than feel resentful because we're not together and it makes me angry because it reminds me of all the things that they may have done wrong. I would much rather it be like, oh man, this album reminds me of all the good times that we had together, and now I am sad that those times are over. I would prefer that over being like, I like this album, but it's kind of stained by bad times, you know? I think that's kind of what they're getting at. The chorus being, I hope you get hit by a car on your way home from work. I hope you get mauled by a bear or a shark or a bird. I hope you go in your sleep peacefully next to me. Actually, I'll go first. Either way, it'll hurt. I didn't say all that to make you upset. Maybe I should just be more direct. I want to love you to death. I want to be the one that's with you until the day that you die. If that means that I'm with you until you die early, that's gonna suck when it happens. But I want to be the person that was with you, that you were with when you go, right? It doesn't actually matter whether it's super violent or if you die peacefully. But I want to be with you when it happens. And I think that's lovely. I think in North America, we have a weird relationship with death, where we North Americans are a lot more scared of it and a lot more uncomfortable with it than a lot of the rest of the world is. And so I think having conversations like these helps uncloud the stigma around it and allows us to have a bit of a healthier relationship with our inevitable demise, because we are all going to die. The people that we love are also going to die. Certainly. Absolutely certainly. Your dog is going to die. He's a very, very good boy. And I hope that he lives a very long and happy life. That dog's going to die. I'm so sorry. The cat that you have seen in some of my videos, she's still got a ways to go, but she's gonna die. Poor old Krenko is not gonna be immortal. She's gonna go. She's gonna be a wonderful old orange cat, and one day will be her last. And that's going to be really sad. She's not even my cat, and I'm going to cry about it when it happens. But being ready for it and being able to say, I want to have a relationship with this person or this dog or this cat all the way to the end, I think that's a good thing to talk about. And with that, let's keep moving. We are now into the back half. Track 7 was sort of the middle ground, and we're crossing to the other side of the teeter-totter, or the seesaw, as some people call them, into track 8, They! T-H-E-Y in all caps, followed by an exclamation mark. This is referring to COROOK's pronouns, which I was aware are they, them. Yeah, I'm looking at the first verse, and it seems to be that. And we get some single art. Let's see what this says. Hang on. COROOK is proud to present one more song to come out before the full album. See what I did there? Come out? Nice. Haha. The song is for all the gays and theys. Funny how we still exist even though we were told we don't. Not sure how that works exactly. Like, you can call the sky green, but it'll still be blue, you know? Anyways, I love being they. Hell yeah. Let's hear this freaking non-binary or agender anthem.
This
Okay.
is a
Ooh.
public service announcement.
Listen up,
Anyone
everyone.
dressed in androgynous outfits.
Does that count? Okay. Hell yeah. Oh shit, this is a bop. Ooh, I like that guitar part.
The outside world gets a little bit crazy.
It does.
Trying to figure out, are you a man or a lady? Not
I am a man.
it's very
No.
simple.
Yeah,
Just a
it is.
little more me in the middle.
Yeah. That's great.
It's been a while, nice to see ya.
It's nice to see you as well.
I've been meaning to say,
Okay.
you know I'm okay. You know how I'm gay.
Yeah.
Well, now I go by they.
Let's
No
go.
big deal, I'm more me now.
Nice.
I
Great.
understand if you make mistakes.
And I will.
It's all okay. I'm still the same. But now I go by they.
That's great. That's good to hear. I'm so happy for you, COROOK. Big support. Now, this is a bop. I like all the little...
So you grew up
I did.
Christian in a rigid system.
A little bit,
So it's
yeah.
hard to listen when that little voice says,
A little bit.
"No
A little
one's
bit.
rushing you.
Okay.
We're just loving you
That's good.
when you're ready to." But now I go by they.
All
A
right.
Pokemon shirt, but you know that it's a crop top.
True.
I wish I had
Correct.
a beard and a bright green mohawk.
Hell yeah. That's a good look.
Tote bag filled with erotica
Ooh,
poetry.
good one. Yep.
I want to feel seen, but I hope no one will notice me.
Jeez. Yeah, I feel that.
Been
Yeah.
a while, nice to see ya.
I like... Yeah, more little Animal Crossing
Go by
esque.
they.
Nice. Hell yeah. Let's go. Oh, shit. COROOK actually said something else about this in an interview. They is my favorite track, and from the Committed to a Bit album. I wrote it to capture the mix of nerves and joy that comes with sharing your new pronouns with the world. In a time when our identities are under constant attack, especially with figures like Trump attempting to legislate us out of existence, this song feels more vital than ever. Absolutely. Name fucking names, COROOK. The thing about they is that, like, they're perhaps they're new to you in that you're newly using them. You've never used them, used they them pronouns to refer to yourself. But did you know that using they or them, singular, is older than using you, singular. Like there are instances of they and them that show up in literature that is older than the first instance of singular you, Y-O-U. So this whole thing of like these brand new pronouns is entirely stupid. It comes from those who need to get a little educated. Unfortunately, our education systems, both in Canada and the States, are not doing so great. So sometimes it does take a little patience, both from those educating and from those being educated, to just be like, all right, clearly I don't know it. Like, if you're being educated about this, it's okay that you don't know about these things, you know? That doesn't mean you shouldn't learn, and it has nothing to do with age. Even if you're old, you can learn that people use certain pronouns now. Pronouns are not a new thing. It's not a lefty thing. It's not a liberal thing. Pronouns are and should be considered an entirely apolitical thing. It's just a part of grammar that people use to accurately represent themselves. And in this case, COROOK is dropping that good old bomb of acknowledging themselves as, well, they don't necessarily establish non-binary or agender, which there are slight differences between those two. They just establish that they use they them pronouns. Great. Let's take a look at these lyrics. Speaking as someone, I'm not non-binary myself. I don't feel entirely committed to the identity of man, but I do adhere to the identities of lad or guy or dude, bro in certain contexts. I feel weird about being a man, but lad, dude, bro, absolutely. In case you were curious about that. Anyway, this is a public service announcement, starting with the intro. Anyone dressed in androgynous outfits, which that's why I was looking at my own outfit. Like, I'm wearing a cardigan, a hosier shirt, and jeans. I feel like that qualifies. I'm not trying to dress androgynous. This is just comfy to me. So take that for what you will. Anyway, this is a sweet and friendly reminder that you are safe here. Show off your binder. Or don't. If you're not comfortable with showing off your binder, you don't have to. But this is a safe space for that. Both this song and this channel. Verse 1. The outside world gets a little bit crazy. I'm trying to figure out, are you a man or a lady? It's not rocket surgery, which I just now noticed that they say rocket surgery. That's really good. It's not brain science, you know? It's very simple. I'm just a little bit more me in the middle, you know? If you have a hard time understanding the idea of gender as a spectrum, it is complex, but the most basic way that may help you understand things more is if you got, like, if you're just working with a one-line axis, maybe you got man over here, woman over here. Non-binary is like somewhere right in between here where it's kind of hard to tell exactly on which side they might fall, and so they just kind of commit to being right in the middle and not giving a shit about which side they appear as, or specifically wanting to appear as someone right in the middle of the two. Pre-chorus: when they put me in the hot seat and everyone wants to ox me, if I'm feeling accepted and comfy and safe, I'll say, and it goes into the chorus. But I think that is very important, that if you want someone to open up to you about their gender, it helps to make sure that they feel accepted and comfy and safe. If you're coming out of the gate and being and like asking all kinds of like invasive questions about like their sex lives and what's in their pants, that's not the way to make them open up to you. You can ask them about their gender without having it be at all about their genitalia, because I'll tell you a secret, gender doesn't actually have anything to do with genitalia. I know. Crazy. Yeah, it's great. Moving to the chorus. It's been a while. Nice to see you. There's something I've been meaning to say. No, I'm okay. You know how I'm gay? So obviously COROOK had already identified themselves as queer before even coming out as non-binary. Well, now I go by they. It's no big deal. I'm more me now. I understand if you make mistakes. It's all okay. I'm still the same, but now I go by they. The whole thing of I understand if you make mistakes is totally true. As long as you prove and show in your behavior that you mean to address them by their proper pronouns, if you slip up once or twice, it's all right. As long as they can tell that you are actually making a concerted effort to respect their pronouns and respect their gender, like they're not gonna blow up at a slip up, right? I'm saying that as someone that would not have the life that I currently have were it not for non-binary and trans people. I'm the only person in my house that does not use they pronouns. So I slip up every now and then, and my friends love me and they know that I support them very much. And I've never had any of them get really, really mad at me just because I've accidentally used the wrong pronoun. If I were to use the wrong pronouns in a way that is clearly out of spite or out of disrespect to their gender, then we're gonna have a problem. I've never done that, but I assume that if that were to happen, there'd be a problem. But I don't intend to do that, so it's fine. Moving into verse 2, so you grew up Christian in a rigid system, so it's hard to listen when that little voice says something's missing. But no one's rushing you, we're just loving you. When you're ready to, we'll be here with open ears when you say it's been a while. And that's a good acknowledgement of that perspective as someone that did grow up Christian and I wouldn't say a super rigid system, but slightly more rigid than others. And the idea of, not being man or woman and those two things being perceived as the only options, to have someone say, I'm actually neither, can kind of run counter to a lot of narratives that you may have grown up believing. As long as you're there to love this person and respect them and respect their choices, they're gonna be patient with you. As long as you show that you are committed to your relationship with them, and that you want to express that you support them and their identity, they're gonna be a lot more patient with you than they might otherwise. And then bridge, we're just getting into shit that has they them energy. For example, a Pokemon shirt, but you know that it's a crop top. That's some they them energy. If you got a beard and a bright green mohawk, that's some they them energy. It's also a powerful look, and I highly recommend anyone to rock out a beard and a bright green mohawk. Moving on to tote bag filled with erotica poetry. That's just queer energy in general. I don't think that's exclusive to they them energy, but it's definitely it's part of the Venn diagram. And I want to feel seen, but I hope no one will notice me. Also not exclusive to non-binary, because I feel that so specifically. I want to feel seen and appreciated, but also do not perceive me. How dare you see me, the person that's currently speaking to the camera. How dare you notice me? Stop it. Quit it. Go go look at something else. Don't leave the video, but go look at something else and then keep listening to me. Just don't pay attention to me, all right? Great. Good job. And I think that's pretty much all the bases covered. Glad that this song is in here. And I am glad that COROOK is out here representing. Moving on to Weird. Track number 9. How weird are we getting? I'm ready to get weird. Okay, not too weird so far. It's actually kind of sad, which is weird in itself. Whoa. Okay.
Driving around in
All right.
your dad's car,
My dad's car?
refusing to
My dad has a truck.
pick out a lane.
Okay. That's dangerous.
Probably blasting the
Ooh, what is that?
Spice Girls.
Little bit of dry guitar strumming. I like that.
Now it's just weird seeing you
Oh.
strange. Someone brand new walking
That was an
around
interesting
with
pace
your
change,
face.
but I like it.
Knows I knew you never even happened.
Ooh.
Now it's
There's a lot
just
going on
weird
here.
and my
I
stomach
like it.
feels sick, thinking all you know about me and the things we did. God, I don't even know how we got here. Never would have guessed that it would feel so weird. Never would have guessed that it would feel so weird. How many years has it been?
Well, that's a lot of layers.
I don't even know.
Ooh, I like it
where
though.
you live.
That's cool.
You're every person I try not to love.
Whoa.
And the reason I don't open up.
Jeez, that's a line.
Now it's
Okay.
just weird.
Oh,
Now it's just weird. seeing you
Cool.
strange.
Well done.
Someone brand new.
that was a really strong choice there. To just kind of let you sit in the discomfort of that moment. That was a really cool creative choice.
God, I don't even know how we got here. Never would have guessed that it would feel so weird.
Oh, that was weird. Okay, and a lot of mixed, complex feelings again here. This seems to be about seeing someone that you knew in the past, maybe had something of a intimate relationship with, romantic or not, and seeing that they've completely changed. Maybe for the better, maybe not. But like seeing them brings up all these memories, both positive and negative, and just having to like kind of deal with having all of that come flooding back. And it seems from that sort of point, it seems like verse 1 kind of starts in a flashback, which is driving around in your dad's car, refusing to pick out a lane, probably blasting the Spice Girls, promising will never change. Right off the bat, we get a picture of what this friendship was like, what this relationship was like. Sort of a just, fun, chaotic relationship between two people. Promising will never change. Promising that the way things are is going to be the way they are forever. We're never going to stop being friends. And then immediately we sort of get very jarringly shifted both rhythmically and narrative-wise into the present day with the chorus, which is, now it's just weird. Seeing you is strange. Someone brand new walking around, but they took your face. Years I knew you never even happened. Now it's just weird, and my stomach feels sick, thinking all you know about me and the things we did. God, I don't even know how we got here. Never would have guessed that it would feel so weird. So you get this sense that this other person has really strayed from who they used to be. They've changed a lot to the point where like it's the same person, but they're almost unrecognizable. And you can tell that both of you have weird, maybe unresolved feelings about the relationship that you used to have, and the fact that you thought it would keep going and it didn't. You know, you never would have guessed that it would feel so weird, because you never would have guessed that this relationship would have changed. Big plot point in verse 2, you pulled away when I came out of the closet, as if I were crossing a line. I think you were scared it was you that I wanted. I think that I'm scared you were right. I get the anxiety. These people were probably fairly young when this happened, so I wouldn't have counted on them to like handle a situation like that super tactly. But when someone comes out to you, your first worry does not need to be, oh shit, is this person coming on to me specifically? If this person that you know you're socializing with as a girl is coming out as gay, and you're being like, oh wait, am I the girl that you realize you're attracted to? Don't make it about you. Don't make it about you, because it almost certainly is not about you. It's just about them telling you this thing about themselves. But they were scared that it was, or she was scared that it was her that they wanted, and COROOK is scared, or they think they might be scared that she's right. Like there is a certain amount of uncertainty of COROOK being like, maybe I was attracted to you, maybe that was like a reality. But in either case, we're back to the now, and things are weird. With the bridge being, how many years has it been now? I don't even know where you live. You're every person I try not to love, and the reason I don't open up, which is a lot to load onto one person. To have this, the way that this friendship turned out has had that much of an effect. Like to have this friendship that you thought was gonna be like a lifetime thing not work out because of a couple, pretty big disagreements, being the reason that now you have this fear of opening up to anyone, of trying not to love anyone because you're worried that it might turn out the same way, which, as I've mentioned in past moments in this album, is a feeling I definitely get. Totally feel that. It does mean that you're kind of projecting that one person onto every other person that you're ever going to meet in your life. And unfortunately, that's not really fair to the other people that you meet in your life. It might be worth giving them a chance. It might not. It might not work out again. But I think a lot of life is, kind of finding out. Fucking around and finding out. And with that, we're going to move on to track 10, Joke's on Me. I don't know what the joke is. I like jokes, but I don't like it when jokes are on me. I don't like being made fun of unless I'm in on the joke. If I can make fun of myself in tandem with another person, that's fine. If another person is making fun of me for something that I don't like making fun of, then suddenly I'm no longer having a fun time. Let's hear about these jokes. Oh no, it's another sad guitar song. Oh no. Okay, let me have it.
Sensitive person.
Uh-huh.
I came out of the womb with my heart on my sleeve.
But did
Such
you
a sensitive
change your shirt?
person.
Okay.
Across the world I can hear someone laughing at me.
Right.
If the joke's on me, it's not fucking funny.
Oh. Okay.
A butter knife could cut
Okay.
me.
Are we
I'm
just
so
doing acoustic
soft
guitar
and
for this?
sensitive, the joke's on you. You're not all that special.
Oh, okay.
Hurting me is an easy thing to do.
Ooh, that's nice. Nice. I like those little hammer-ons there.
I'm an internet person.
Same. Me too.
I've made my career your opinion of me.
A little
but is
bit.
my internet working?
Yes, mine is.
'Cause half of these comments are so fucking mean.
Yeah.
They say I signed up for this.
You didn't.
and know
You did not.
Exactly where to hit. So take a bow and take their shit.
You don't have to take their
Make
shit,
some stupid song
but you can do
about
that.
it
You can make a stupid song about it. You have that right.
again and again.
Sure.
I don't wanna let some stranger keep me from my purpose.
Very good.
I just wanna sing my songs for people who deserve them.
Absolutely. Keep doing
And
that.
when
Yes.
I hide away that shy teenager from the suburbs,
Okay.
protecting me,
Mhm.
but keeping me from feeling it in color.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
If the joke's on me, it's not
Ooh.
fucking funny.
Oh,
A
we're letting it loose.
butterknife could cut me. I'm so soft and sensitive.
Damn.
The joke's on you. You're not all that special. Hurting me's an easy thing to do.
Okay. Nice. It's good to have a little just person and a guitar song on an album every now and then. Okay. This one seems very, very like usually the ones where it's just the person and their instrument. You can tell that that it's probably the song is pretty significant for them. So I'm glad that COROOK was able to have a song like that on this album. Seems to be the song's about being a little sensitive, a little easy to bother. I'm not gonna say I get it. I'm generally pretty thick-skinned, but I understand. Sometimes someone thinks that they're, making a quick, funny jab, just making a goof and a gaff when it's not actually that funny. And if it's like a teasing joke, but the joke isn't actually funny, then you're just teasing and you're just being mean. And with certain people, a lot of the time, the tease hits harder than the joke itself. And it helps to be aware of that. The main chorus being, if the joke's on me, it's not fucking funny. A butter knife could cut me. I'm so soft and sensitive. The joke's on you. You're not all that special. Hurting me is an easy thing to do. Which, the interesting thing of like if the joke's on me, it's not fucking funny, is an important note to take. If your joke isn't funny, then you gotta watch how much potential harm it could make. If you're making a joke out of teasing someone, you gotta weigh the potential of the joke with the potential for harm, I'll also mention the pre-chorus, which is, everyone said toughen up or life is gonna really suck for you, which there's not zero truth to that, especially for those of us in the creative arts. Like, people take their licenses to be shitty to artists all the time, especially those of us that are putting shit out on the internet. People just think it's their right and their responsibility, their civic duty to be mean. And it's not. But that doesn't mean that people don't do it anyway. So on one hand, that's not our fault. Like, the fact that we have to come to expect that is not fair to us. But unfortunately, it is, you know, a reality of, you know, doing this shit in the 21st century in the world that we're in. So it is something that we unfortunately, unfairly do need to be somewhat, you know, acclimated to. And hopefully COROOK is able to find some element of that. Bridge, I don't want to let some stranger keep me from my purpose. I just want to sing my songs for people who deserve them. And when I hide away that shy teenager from the suburbs, protecting me, but keeping me from feeling it in color. That is another interesting element of it, of protecting but not feeling in color, right? If you're shutting off your feelings, you can't just shut off the bad feelings. You're shutting them all off, which means that you're not only keeping yourself from feeling bad, it also means you're keeping yourself from feeling good. If something bad is happening, then yeah, it hits a little bit less. But it also means that when suddenly things are good, or if then you don't feel that as much, it also becomes harder to see the positive in things. And I'm glad that they're acknowledging that. Because you do just want to sing your songs for people who deserve them. If you can pay your bills singing songs for the people that deserve to hear your songs, great, you made it. Sometimes people are going to hear your songs that don't deserve to hear it, and then they let you know about it. And now those are the times when you feel like you need to hide away that shy teenager and protect them. And it is about sort of, you know, changing weight on, you know, when you're listening to the people and when you're not. Because sometimes people do say nice things. Sometimes y'all say nice things on this channel, and it's great. I love reading those things. But every now and then, I'll also get a little notification of someone just making a bullshit comment on a video, and I'm just like, man, I didn't need to read that. It's not going to change how I'm doing things. Now I've just got a negative thought in my head, and I didn't need it. It's not even useful to me. So it's a delicate dance that us performers need to play. And with that, we're gonna move on to the other song that does not break 2 minutes. Track 11, Worcestershire. Whatever, however you pronounce it.
I'm not gonna do that.
Do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
You should do it.
Seriously. Don't make me do it.
I'm not gonna make you.
I've never really liked the taste of weed.
Okay.
I've never run a marathon or even down the street.
Me neither.
I've never bought a pack of cigarettes.
Me neither.
I always seem to find them when I'm feeling mad depressed.
Okay.
I've never bought a ticket for the lottery.
Me
I've
neither.
never said Worcestershire properly.
You just did.
I've never even had a summer fling. Oh, and one more thing.
Okay.
I've never fucking felt this good.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Never fucking felt this good.
That's good to hear. Ooh. Oh, the horns.
Can't even tell you why, but I've never fucking felt this good.
That's great to hear. Oh. All right.
That's some
Okay.
cool shit, but I'd like
All right.
to. I was
Sure.
the pretty good kid back in high school.
Me
I
too.
got my head down.
Me
I guess
too.
I came around.
Me
I've
too.
never had Biscotti or did karate, but
I never
probably
did
kicked some
karate.
ass. Oh no, wait. I gotta go potty.
Okay, you go.
I've never fucking felt this
Nice. All right. We got Tony Morissette. Okay. Guitar solo. Oh. All right. Ooh. Oh, that's so cool. Oh. Very nice. Nope, not right now. Oh, that was. I think that might be my favorite song on the album. That hit so hard, and I'm so sad that it's also one of the shorter songs on the album. That was just about, you know, haven't really done a whole lot in your life, haven't had that spicy of an experience, but on today of all days, for one reason or another, unknown, we feel fucking good. And that's great. That's some good vibes. Let me go through this list again and see what I have done and have not done. Never really liked the taste of weed. I like certain gummies. Depending on the flavor, I can enjoy a good weed gummy. Never run a marathon or even down the street. I have run down a street. I've never ran a marathon. I've walked one though. Never bought a pack of cigarettes. Also, don't tend to find them when I'm feeling depressed. I find the same amount of cigarettes as I do when I'm not depressed, which is not very many because I'm not looking for them. I've never bought a ticket for the lottery. Both COROOK and I have said Worcestershire properly. I'm pretty sure it's Worcestershire. I'm pretty sure. Never had a summer fling. I guess I could say I've had a summer fling, maybe. Depends on what you classify as a summer fling, but I think it could be argued that I've had one. Never done mushrooms. I have had mushroom tea, but it was very, very old. Like, the mushrooms themselves were very old, and the tea that they had been made into had also been sitting out for a while. So technically I have done them, but not a very strong dose. I was also the goody-good kid back in high school. I did, in fact, keep my head down. I also, in fact, came around. I'm pretty sure I've had biscotti. I've never done karate. And I probably would not kick ass. And I do not currently need to go potty. And that covers all of our bases. But I do feel pretty good. I feel alright. I'm a little on the sleepier side this evening, but we're vibing. We got 2 more songs left. Next one is medicine. Let's hear about this medicine. We already heard about medicine earlier when we were listening to Pepto Bismol. What other medicine are we looking for here?
Somewhere in Texas, late
Okay.
October,
Piano.
Lakers playing solo.
I don't know who that is.
And you cry
Okay.
on FaceTime.
Okay.
Been about 6 weeks.
All right.
Longest ever. I
Got-
wouldn't choose
all right.
6 weeks. I would
Nice
choose
little
never.
choral
Call you on
synth.
FaceTime.
All
And
right.
you cry on FaceTime.
All right.
But I know the second I get home.
A little bit of bass in there.
You throw me into bed again. Loving you is medicine.
Aw.
I want it every day and every night. An
Nice.
overdose of you brings me to life. Oh, I'm not even sure if I can die.
Nice.
Better than heaven said. Loving you is medicine. Doesn't even matter what we do. Walking through the aisle of the grocery store with you.
Aw.
Feels like the aisle with the preacher in the pew.
Nice. Nice.
In New York, I'm in Arizona. A couple
Okay.
thousand miles and a couple dirty photos. A day that
yeah,
you
fair.
look nice.
Yeah.
But I want you in real life. So
That's how it is with the long distance.
together, we even bought a dog. Little cubby doesn't get it. I'm not even sure if I can die. Better than heaven
Nice.
said, loving
Nice
you
little
is
organ
medicine.
hit there.
Doesn't even matter what we do.
They have this lovely talent of just like throwing in little details in the production so that if you're zoning out like I was for a second there, they'll throw in just a little extra thing, a little, otherwise maybe unnecessary thing that'll rope you right back into paying attention.
Throw me at the bed again.
All right.
Loving you is medicine.
Oh,
Please prepare for uncontrollable joy.
nice. Very nice.
Loving you is medicine. I want it every day and every night. Walking through the aisle of the grocery store with you. Feels like the aisle with the preacher and the pews.
Whistling. Are we whistling while we work? Very nice. We're okay. Interesting. Fascinating choice to shift that down at the end. Okay, great. This is another, it's a freaking adorable little love song. I very much like the vibes of this love song. Let's see what we got here. Somewhere in Texas, late October, Adrienne Lenker's playing solo. I have no idea who the frick is Adrienne Lenker. Oh, she's in Big Thief. Oh, okay, nice. Adrienne's doing a solo show. Great. We're calling on FaceTime. You cry on FaceTime. Been about 6 weeks. Longest ever. I wouldn't choose 6 weeks. I would choose never. Call you on FaceTime and we cry on FaceTime. But I know the second I get home, chorus, you'll throw me into bed again. Loving you is medicine. I want it every day and every night. An overdose of you brings me to life. I'm not even sure if I can die. Better than heaven sent, loving you is medicine. Doesn't even matter what we do. Walking through the aisle of the grocery store with you feels like the aisle with the preacher and the pews. Adorable. So we're talking about some long distance relationships, a temporary phase of long distance relationships. Maybe COROOK is touring and they're trying to keep in touch on the FaceTimes. Going into verse 2, you're somewhere in New York, I'm in Arizona, couple thousand miles and a couple dirty photos. Sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes you want to keep the sex life alive. You pass a couple nudes off while you're in different states. I tell you that you look nice, but I want you in real life. So much time apart and so little together. Yeah, if you're busy, yeah. We even bought a dog. Little Cubby doesn't get it. I'll tell you that I miss you, but you already know I miss you. So they bought a dog, and the dog doesn't seem to understand why one of their parents is one or the other parent is gone so long. And then the bridge, don't get used to being away from me. Don't get used to being away. Throw me into bed again. Loving you is medicine. Followed by, please prepare for uncontrollable joy. The line, walking through the aisle of the grocery store with you feels like the aisle with the preacher in the pews, and also doesn't even matter what we do. Reminds me very much of me and Rachel. One of their favorite things to do with me is to follow me along while I get groceries. Because, again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, sometimes a nice part of the relationship is just like hanging out and not doing anything important together. Just going out to get groceries. Hanging out while shopping. It's great. Turns out that's sometimes people's favorite thing. It doesn't actually matter what you do. If you enjoyed being around each other, sometimes it's the most mundane things that feel the best. That seems to be a nice little element of this relationship here. Hopefully they've since been able to get a little bit more time together. We're gonna move on to the final track. Okay, getting older. I'm also okay getting older. I'm okay, and I'm getting older, and I'm okay with getting older. Piano. I like that. All right.
I stopped drinking.
Oh, did
don't
you?
Smoke
Okay.
weed.
All right.
I wanna know me sober.
Okay.
My
Nice.
friends think I'm boring now.
Oh.
Guess I'm getting older.
Ooh, I like the strings.
I stopped talking to my dad.
Good.
Weight lifted from
Good for you.
my shoulders.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm better off not seeing him. But maybe when I'm older.
Maybe.
Loved my grandma so damn much. She died when I was 12. If she knew that I kiss girls, would she love me still?
Well, I think it's safe to assume yes. This particular song feels a lot. I'm getting two different energies here. One is it sounds like a ballad in a musical, like a waitress-esque like musical, but it also kind of reminds me of like a church like worship song, just from the like chord progression and the instruments that are being used, like the fact that it's just like piano and strings. Gives me a bit of a churchy vibe. The result is very, for me at least, very nostalgic, which I think might be what they're going for.
She was only 55. That's not even old.
It's not. That's too
My
bad.
girlfriend says I'm too closed off.
Okay.
I'm trying not to be.
Well, that's good.
I don't want to reach the end and not be the best of me. If I could find the younger me, I'd hug them and I'd hold them.
Good.
Say you have everything you need. I am okay. Getting older.
Good to hear. And the last chord of the album. Wow. Lovely. What a nice little way to cap things off. It makes sense to put this song at the end. It's the kind of song that, like, you don't necessarily need to put at the end, but it makes sense to have this as the last track. I don't know how old COROOK is, but I know that the mid to late 20s are definitely around the time that you start feeling like you're getting older and starting to think about, aging. And I am also okay getting older, as I mentioned at the start. Saw my sister graduate. I'm proud of her. I told her, saw her through her first heartbreak. I guess she's getting older. I think that can be often one of the most like striking signs that you're getting older is when you watch, like if you got a younger sibling that is also hitting certain milestones, that can be the thing that really makes you feel old. Like, I think the day that my younger sister graduated university was a big thing for me, where I was like, damn, all three of us are just out in the world now. Like, we've all finished school for the most part. She's doing her master's, but like the youngest one of my family is doing their master's, right? So that has a certain effect on me as the older brother in relation to that. Look at the outro, which is, if I could find the younger me, I'd hug them and I'd hold them, say, you have everything you need. I am okay getting older. I feel the exact same way. If I could find the younger me, I would give them a big hug and hold them a bit, and I would tell them, you're gonna do fine. You're gonna do fine. Maybe a nice autism assessment would be helpful, but other than that, you got everything you need. I think I'm gonna be okay as I, traverse these last few years of my 20s and become more and more of an adult. The fear of wasting my time, I think, still exists, but I also know that fear is only so useful. It's useful a little bit in like motivating you to actually take advantage of the time you have while you're young and able-bodied. But if that fear is more of a paralyzing thing, then it's not going to be of any help to you. So yeah, just kind of be like, we've got everything we need right now. Hopefully you have everything you need right now, and hopefully you know what you need, and if you don't have it right now, hopefully you're seeking it out. But if you are able to seek it out, it'll be just fine. And with that, that is the end of Committed to a Bit. I don't know what the bit was. I'm not entirely sure of what the bit was, so I wasn't able to join in on the bit. We found a few different bits scattered in through this album, but I don't know what the one specific bit was. Maybe it was, coming to terms with some of who you are. Maybe that was the bit and committing to it. That might have been in the bit, which is great. If that's the bit, then great. I think I could commit to that. I enjoyed this. This was a good album. COROOK, obviously, this is their debut album, so they got miles to go from here. But I think this is a really, really strong first album. I'm going to look back on this one at the end of the year fondly. Hopefully you too. If you have thoughts on these songs, if you've got thoughts on COROOK and whether you know more about them, let me know any relevant thoughts and comments and analyses down in the comments below. If you like this video, you can click the like button. If you have not subscribed, now is a great time to do that. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Great, you could join us. Maybe you want to join us by join by subscribing. If you want to join even harder than that, you can go to my Fourth Wall site and you can become a member. You can buy merch. You can make a one-time donation. Whatever you feel like doing, it's all hugely appreciated. I also want to say, speaking of debut albums, my band Rougarou is releasing our debut album, which is called Graveyard Smash. We're releasing it on April 11th, and we're going to be doing a whole release show of it. It's going to be a great time. If you're in the Vancouver area, we're going to be playing with the bands Numb Dame and Tall Mary. Wonderful, wonderful bands made up of wonderful, wonderful people. We're very excited. We have been working on this album for like 2 or 3 years, from like writing the songs that are on it to recording. Like we finished recording them about a week ago, a week and a half. So it's been a long process in the making, and we're very excited for you to have all of these tracks accessible in one place, for some weird, screamy, proggy punk rock. I'm very blessed to be part of this band, and if you're in the Vancouver area, follow us on Instagram. Hope to see you at the show. But until then, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.